fighting for this title. And he's got to go to Middlesbrough and get something. And I'll tell you, honestly, I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
Yes, everyone, what's going on? My name is Stephen Howson. That's Adam Mckola. And we are back from... Do you know what? I was just thinking, how long has this week been?
I know. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been horrible.
Feels like about a month ago we did that warm down on the beach.
Oh, man, yeah. And got attacked by seagulls.
Quacker Island. What a place. It's not what it's called, though, is it?
No, Rot Nest.
That's the one.
Yeah. So we are back. We thought we'd just do another quick warm down and talk about what actually is going to constitute a success and how are we going to get there this season with Manchester United. And we've just done a quick Premier League prediction over on his video on his channel as well. So that'll be out tonight or tomorrow, I would imagine, or maybe next week. We'll figure it out.
It'll be out this week.
Did you enjoy pre-season? I know what.
I did, yeah. It was good fun, man.
It's fucking great, wasn't it?
It's got to be didn't go to China, do the Chinese part, but in general, like Singapore was nuts. Like what we fitted into those 3 days.
Oh, that was
4
insane.
days was insane. There was literally
insane.
No rest, no sleep. Same with Australia. As soon as we arrived, I was in the pub with you, like drinking, and it just didn't stop from there. Like everyone we met was amazing, and yeah, it was just mint, man. Like. The people we come across like treated us better than my real friends. It's actually incredible. Like it was just amazing experience out there.
It was crazy, and I absolutely loved it, and it was a brilliant experience. And I was like, do you know what, man? I'm doing this every single pre-season.
Well, it's America next year, I think. Again, so
I think it will be America.
That'll be good.
I think definitely going to be America, and I can't wait to go and check out that as well. I mean, I went to America with the missus with my honeymoon. I think it'll be a whole different vibe going and following United on there. I like the fact that they. I mean, we won the games. But I don't give a shit about the games.
Yeah.
The games was almost a chore while we was there. What was great was meeting so many United fans in different places.
You know when people say, when we talk about going to games, like people say, it's not about the result, it's about meeting up with friends and family. Except when you go to a league game or a Champions League game, the result does,
of course it does,
piss you off. Whereas now, like when you actually go to a pre-season game, the result actually does mean nothing.
Well, to some people. Some people, they're well carried away with our pre-season results.
See, I try not to get too disappointed by them, and I try not to get too excited by them. But pre-season has pulled me back into getting excited about this season. And that's not because I think we're going to win the league or anything like that, but I'm just excited by what I'm seeing.
And if you don't get excited by what you're seeing, why are you watching football? Why are you watching football if you're just like, these games are shit, this doesn't matter?
To be fair, I felt like that during Van Gaal and Mourinho at different
even
periods.
Pre-season, it's the hope that kills, isn't it? If you get a little bit of hope, that's what absolutely murders you.
And that's the mood amongst everything has been different. Like we hear about last summer, you know, I know Jose wasn't helped by the fact we didn't do much activity in the market when we probably should have, but he threw his toys out of the pram. And from that moment, you hear about reports on tour where no one was really sure on the mood in the camp, and it was just complete opposite to that. Everyone was happy. Everyone was relaxed.
He didn't do what Ollie's done in terms of like give some of these youngsters starts and give some of these youngsters responsibility and say go and take. But
I think even off the pitch, like you hear stories about him on tour last year, like going really close to staff and players trying to see if they've had a drink and stuff. Whereas on this tour, they've kind of been. Ollie's kind of said, "Yous lot can do what you want, but I'll judge you on that. Whatever you do, like it's like with Jesse. Apparently, he got a dressing down after what he had done on social media. But
I saw that for his mate shagging a pillow.
But since then, he's been the best in training, and there's been a reaction from it. And I think giving these players trust and allowing to trust them a little bit and allowing them to have a little bit of fun will kind of get them on side. Do
you know what?
Points.
We obviously managed to get into training at the Wacker. And Angel and Jesse and actually Scott McTominay to a certain extent as well, impressed me the most in that training session.
Angel and Jesse as a pair, their closing down was excellent.
But not even just Jesse on his own, because he was fucking argumentative as fuck, but in a good way. Were,
and I think that's what you want to see.
Nah, that wasn't out.
Yeah,
Nah, he's in. I'm out. No, sling it. Like there was a competitiveness about the training. Like it wasn't messing around. It was.
But you
business.
have to train as you play, right? You can't train and just be half-hearted.
I mean, Pogba was Pogba did some shit where you go, And we almost gloss over it.
But there were
because it's
bits
expected,
again where you looked at Lukaku and you thought, yeah, he's definitely not going to be here next time. But remember the bit where the ball, he went to pass with one foot and he hit off the other foot and went the other way.
But there was
and
also at one point. There was also at one point where he had a touch like Pirlo, and I remember going, "Oh shit!"
And then do you remember when he got really angry and booted the ball out?
I didn't see that one.
Lukaku, when he was supposed, they thought they completed 8 passes, should have had a goal. But we get an image of them for an hour. And then we take a judgment. Whereas those things happen every single day. Like it's like me telling you to piss off. It don't mean nothing really.
No, and that out of proportion that got blown up as well. Like Jesse and Pogba had an argument, and then it's where someone had cut the clip because the rest of the clip they jumped over each other. But no, I don't think there's anything. I mean, there was nobody there at training. It was literally us, and it was well weird because everyone was just looking at us like.
Yeah, it was weird, and we could tell like. United staff had been advised, keep an eye on them.
Yeah, there was a security guard that was randomly standing just in front of us.
We got told no videos,
by the way.
Which was
cheers,
fair. Yeah, cheers, Christian. We got told no videos, only photos, which we were taking. They were on top, and then we were the only ones asked to leave before the end, which was great as well.
But a few of the players come over and said hello.
They did, and even like just bumping into like the low. He subscribes to Full Time Devils and he's on Instagram and that and the Matter and De Gea and they know who you are.
The Matter and De Gea one was mental because I think it's fair to say I spent most of the last 2 weeks hungover, at least hungover if not smashed, right? So
that was the day we were on the way to the pool, right?
Yeah, I was rough. I don't know, we'd been out the night before.
Rough as arseholes.
I can't remember we'd been the night before.
We had been out the night before.
I had sunglasses on indoors. That's how hungover I was, because that's not normally a move I pull. And I had sunglasses on indoors, and I was walking into a lift, and as we walked in, I could see a lady in the lift, and as I've come into the centre of the lift, I've just seen like the black Adidas t-shirt with the A on, the ones that they've been wearing on the plane, and I just seen that, and I went, out of my sunglasses, and Matt went, oh shit. I went, oh shit. I was like, I'll give us a cuddle.
Yeah, he went, when he sees us, he always, that's what's so good about Matt. He pretends, like I might think in my head, shit, me and Matt are friends. But it's not, he's just being kind to everyone. And when he sees you, he like, makes sure he speaks to you. When we did the interview and that, it was amazing. And yeah, bumping into both of them.
Well, people was like, are you just riding the lift all day?
At the UNICEF
like,
dinner,
no, we just really aren't.
At the UNICEF dinner that I got invited to by Hunter as well. What a legend, by the way.
Cheers for the hospitality.
When I was taking a picture with, we can't. When I was taking a picture with the squad, I had Jess, Rashford, De Gea, and Matter behind me, like digging me in the sides. So my picture's ruined because I'm just turning around. And De Gea must have remembered me I was smashed that day. So he kind of smirked at me like, yeah, that's that idiot that was pissed up around me that time. We asked him if he'd sign.
I did. I went, are you signing the thing? And he just smiled and shook my hand. But it was the kind of like...
Is that legally binding? I've been asked that
1,000 times. I think it is, yeah.
I think that's legally binding.
A smile's as good as a written contract, clearly.
The handshake...
That confirms it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so people were saying to us, weren't they, are you just riding the lift all day long? And we're like, no. There's probably another 7 times where the lift door just closed and there was like after squatting them.
Yeah, people see like photos and think, bloody hell, these guys. Mate, there's 4 of us sharing a room in the hotel. we definitely not balling. It was nuts, but it was great.
But we probably only took photos about a quarter of the times as well.
I don't like, because you know what? With Matter and De Gea, they recognised us, so it's like, yeah, we're cool with Matter and De Gea.
And same with Jesse, because in that lift was Lindelof and Joel Pereira, and we didn't bother.
I don't like to bother the players. Like, I don't want them to think, there's that knob coming near
Matter and Jesse was like, what are you up to? It wasn't just like a hi. And
no, Matter asked us, are you coming training or going to the pool? He was like...
No, he said, are you coming training? And we was like, nah, going to the pool.
Yeah, he was like, he was confused as to like, I got to go training. These motherfuckers at the pool. Well, we did tell you where the party was at and you didn't turn up, so... Yeah.
And Brian Robson, we told him as well. He didn't turn up.
Told him. Listen, Steve saw Brian Robson. Brian Robson had already had a drink or two, you could tell. He was with Dennis Irwin. It was an evening. We're going back to have a few drinks.
It was about 4 a.m.
Yeah, and we're going back to have a few drinks. And we're walking out the lift, and Steve's going, you want a drink, Robbo? Robbo's half wanted to say yes, but he knew that if he said yes, it's going to be a bad idea. And then Steve's gone, come on, Robbo. Come on, Robbo. Literally dragging him out of the lift. And Robbo said, no. I don't want to go. But you literally nearly dragged him out of the lift. And I think Dennis Irwin was concerned that we're going to have a kidnapping on our hands.
For an England legend. How do I tell Tuchel? Hey, do you know the former England captain?
He's missing in the hotel.
He said something about rum. I don't know what's happened.
And only Jesse and Matt knew what room we were in because they got invited to a party that didn't turn up to.
Oh, there was a party and Jesus came.
Yep. That was mate. If we... I'm not going to start. Let's talk about the football.
Do we have to?
We have to. This is like pre-season all over again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Having fun and you're like, oh, yeah, shit, we got to do some videos,
shit
talk
to
about
do.
stuff.
I found it really weird that it was warm in Australia, but because it's winter, the sun fucks off at like 4 o'clock. Like it does
here. At 11.
Yeah, that's weird. So it does get cold. So that didn't feel like any sort of a holiday trip, but Singapore did because it was just roasting all the time.
Humid.
Well humid. Like where you go, how have I got 3 inches of water in my underpants? What's going on there?
I wore velour to go and meet Berbatov. Jesus Christ. Berbatov's a cool guy.
Yeah, which was very hungover at that point. I think we'd only been in about 3 hours and had to get back up again to go and do that.
See, we weren't stalking Berbatov for the people that think we were just stalking it. I would stalk Berbatov, but we didn't have to. We got invited to a shoot that they were doing.
And we're on the advert.
Yeah, I'm sat next to
It's the Singapore MRT. I don't know what that means. It's probably like
the
rail,
metro rail
train. There's an advert and we're in it. In the background like that.
And Lee Sharp.
Yeah.
Weird that we got asked for more selfies than Paul Walsh.
It's not.
Who did he even play for, Leicester?
Did he play for City at one point, or is that a different Paul Walsh?
I recognised his voice off TalkSport. That's what I was speaking to.
Anyway, so where we come in and how do we put the title challenge in? Because I was very impressed with that. Like, there's two reigns, isn't there? There's interim Ollie and there's permanent Ollie. And everyone who was like, we shouldn't have given him the job. Why?
I don't think permanent Ollie started until this summer. Really, even in his mind.
Maybe.
He even towards the end of the season, he was probably thinking, I can't wait for this season. Once he saw the players' legs had gone, I think it was a case of, let's get to the end of this season. And
do you accept that then as a thing? Because I know a couple of people close to Ollie, and I actually had a pretty good conversation with Kieran McKenna actually at training, and spoke to him about, is it possible to make the changes in this time? And McKenna said no. Physiologically, it's impossible to make the changes in this shorter window with all the travelling that you've got to have, but you can make the mental changes. Now, a lot of people close to Ollie that I've spoke to and stuff have said, he said the fitness had gone. The fitness wasn't there to play the system that he wanted to play. And you go, okay, if I accept that, and I do, we still don't lose to Cardiff on the last day of the season.
True.
So where does that fix come? Because I can see the press makes a difference. I can see the style of football making a difference. I can see the trying to pass it into the box rather than cross it's making a difference.
Towards the end of the season when we've got nothing to play for, I know as fans, idealistically, really, everyone performs every game, but they don't. Players' heads start thinking about internationals, start thinking about holidays, start thinking about transfers, start thinking about
new deals,
all sorts of different things. And I don't think there's a collective pulling in one direction towards the end of the season when you're not playing for anything, when there's youngsters coming in, when there's other players potentially leaving. Like, if you look at us now, Lukaku's going to be gone. So we're going to have a whole new front line. I think the front line changes a lot about what we play. And I think, not to blame it all on Lukaku because it wasn't all his fault, but under Mourinho, a lot of the issue was we didn't have a number 9 that was doing anything for us.
I don't think it's the number 9. I think and I still think this is an issue. I still don't think we're creating anywhere near the chances as a team for anyone to be a success.
But then I think at times Romelu Lukaku could have made you can, like, you don't just have to wait for the best pass in the world. You can make a poor pass very good by just moving at time. Or you can give someone options.
His movement outside the box is just non-existent.
And it fully went, his confidence went, everything went. And I think with Rashford and Martial has to improve on his movement. But you've seen signs that he wants to.
He presses more, but he looks awkward doing it. It looks like he's been told to do it.
He looks like someone's there on the sideline. Now press. And then he does it.
But to his credit, I saw him at least 3 or 4 times. Which game was it?
Was it when he was bollocking Daniel James?
Yeah, I think it might be the Inter game. Might be the Inter game. Where he started to press, because the press only works if everyone presses. Otherwise, it's one knobhead chasing someone, like Tevez used to do, which kind of was effective, but it's not really. It's still headless chicken shit. So Martial was heading up. I think it was a defender he was trying to chase down, and he's looked to his right, and you can see that he's lost his shit with him because he's looked and like double took and gone, like, get your ass up there.
You had to be there.
And I saw him do that like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, well, one, I think it's good that he's initiating the press. 2, it's good that he's telling others. That's aspects of Martial's game that I didn't think existed. So that's always a nice bonus. But he looks awkward doing it. It doesn't look like it's a natural thing to him. Like, on the ball, he's unbelievable. His close control and his finishing is just like, it's as high as
But
it
that's
comes.
where he has that that cool, calm composure in front of goal. Because if he has that
And this is
natural
why I'm
energy,
not sure.
where Rashford in front of goal, he's less clinical.
Of course.
And I think that's because he's got
Measurably
all
less
that
clinical.
that energy. Whereas when Martial gets the ball, it's when he's ready.
And that's where,
Do you know what I mean?
And
It's
that's
like,
why
I'll
I'm
get the
not
ball
sure
whenever
who the right answer is here, because we was talking about it earlier at Devil Studio, and we was talking about, remember when everyone would kick off with Berbatov because Tevez had run around? There's an element of that. And sometimes Berbatov's the right fit, and sometimes Tevez was the right fit. They're 2 different tools for 2 different jobs, and I think the issue with United fans at the moment is we see very much what Martial does on the ball, and it's great, but I don't know if his off the ball's good enough. And Marcus's off the ball is fantastic, but his finishing needs work. Like, neither of them are perfect.
But at
So
this
how do you
age,
get the
that's
best
what
out
you
of both of
expect.
them? Yeah.
And I've compared this before to, remember when we've had a few drinks in Australia, and I was like,
Remember?
this is going to be 06, 07 Ronaldo, Rooney time.
Could be.
Martial and Rashford.
Could be.
Where everything finally clicks for them, and they
But
finally figure,
But
I'm going to just score goals. This is what
Rooney
I'm here to do.
and Ronaldo...
They were already ahead of what they'd done so far.
No. As individuals, I'm not even asked. I'm talking about the support network around them. They had Giggs, they had Scholes, they had Jemba. You know what I mean? They had some serious footballers around them. They had Alan Smith and Michael Carrick. But they had all of this around them to make things
Our
happen.
backup striker was Louis Saha at that point.
Oh, fucking... what
I'd
an
die for
underrated
Louis Saha
signing.
now.
Someone that we could bring in, not the same as Louis Saha, but like could have the same sort of impact. Someone like a Ben Yedder. Because I still don't know if I can go into the season with Marcus or Tony being that you're our number 9. Because Marcus's target for this year has to be 20 goals, and so does Marshall's.
And the thing is,
but I don't know if he ever get there.
they should realistically both be starting most games.
Yeah.
So then who's coming off the bench? And you can't always rely on Mace.
So which is left and which is centre? Because that's what it's going to be.
I think it'll rotate a little bit. And
But
I think
that's
that's
not good
good.
for him.
I think that is good. I think that is good.
But both of them need on-the-job training as a striker.
Yeah,
Alan
yeah.
Shearer didn't play left wing and centre forward.
But I think it's a rotate. I don't think it should be when I start out on the left. Today I'm a left winger. I think there has to be that
Fluidity
natural
in the game.
Fluidity, where they both occupy positions through the middle.
I don't think you get better playing as a centre forward by being a left winger.
I hear you. Although Henry would.
No, but Henry started as a left winger and became a centre forward, and then stayed as a centre forward and learned his trade off like Ian Wright and Bergkamp, and was played down there.
So do you think if we maybe had, because our options in centre midfield are worse than our options at centre half, and we really badly need a centre half. So what does that say about our midfield? But if you look at our options in midfield, do you think if we had another option there, or another 2 options, we then see maybe more of a diamond, more of a 2 with them
I like
both
the
through middle?
diamond. I often wonder, can
We haven't
they
got
play
natural
together?
width, really.
And you've also got to think, into this who plays left wing, who plays striker, you've got Alexis Sanchez. And you can talk, but
I'm not counting on him yet.
But we have got him.
But it hasn't been part of pre-season. I know that's because they have the chilly stuff. But
The fact remains, he's paid $500,000 a week. He's going to play.
do you think that's probably why they're happy to let Lukaku leave? Because they feel Martial, Rashford be our number 9s. We'll give Sanchez another go on the left.
But where's the hierarchy? Like,
Really, it'd be better off Rashford with Sanchez as his backup, and Martial starts every game on the left. That would, or
vice versa.
yeah, but
I think you could see Sanchez plays potentially in the 10 instead of Mata and instead of Jesse. So you got 3 that
he's
could
not
play
better
in
than Mata or Jesse in the 10.
there. But I can see him playing there.
But then in that pressing stuff, Sanchez is perfect for that. You know, that
he's probably better than
high
Mata,
energy, all that. But then it's the finishing and the passing. I think Mata in number 10.
I think he's been brilliant in there. Yeah.
Even Pereira's been all right there.
Yeah.
But Pereira's just a pre-season Pirlo, isn't he?
Loves it.
It's just amazing in pre-season, and then come to the real stuff.
I think Ollie's system was proven against. I think it was proven against Liverpool. I think it was very unlucky to have 4 injuries in one half of football. Liverpool had less shots. Liverpool had less shots in that game than Burnley did. So I think we can say, I think his system can work against Liverpool. It remains to be seen whether we can beat them or not. But I think it can work. We proved it worked. I think he was even very unlucky not to beat Arsenal when we lost to him. That was one of the weird situations that we had when we hit that skid. It worked against Tottenham. You know, I think we know that this system can work against the bigger teams. We know it can work against smaller teams because we bitch slapped a couple. It's just about getting the consistency of being able to play multiple competitions with multiple players. And maybe that's why we're going, who the fuck's going to play? And Solskjaer's like, don't worry about it. There's a lot of games and I'm going to rinse you. You might be right.
Because then you're looking at, you're overusing
But the Liverpool, they was bringing in Sturridge and they're bringing in fucking donuts into that team.
But look in the key areas of the team. Centre half, centre mid.
Yeah, but they're even bringing in Joe Gomez, who looks good.
I just don't...
Because they have got a good spine.
We've gotten... Unless Fred becomes a £50 million player we thought he was, and McTominay becomes twice the player we thought he was, I'm worried about central midfield. Like, I really... And then even you sign Bruno Fernandes. He's not really a central... He's coming into
he's a number 10
position. He's not
like Mata, Lingard, Sanchez. So now you've got 4 for that spot.
And you still haven't got a central midfielder.
No,
or it just maybe frees up Pogba to stay. But then you're taking away Pogba's natural game. And it's just...
Do you know what we need? Ander Herrera.
He was available on a free this summer. We should have been in for him. It's a joke, that, isn't it? Imagine we've needed a central midfielder for so long, and we let our second best central midfielder go on a free. That's partly to do with Sanchez's wages.
And then Idrissa Gueye goes for 28 million. And you're like...
But if United are in for him, we don't get him for 28 million.
But he was available.
That's the problem. If we go in for him, it's 60 million.
Because you're looking at the likes of him and Ndidi and Kante are very much of a muchness. Even someone like a...
You see that geezer that tweeted about Kante in like...
Yeah.
About 5 days, tweeted Middlesbrough saying...
Yeah,
Tony Mowbray
6 years ago. 6 years ago, they're like, scouts are on it.
They were in League 2 then.
Yeah.
Kane, so you could have got him for like 500 grand.
Yeah, nothing, probably.
It's mad though, how people see things like that. And he was on holiday. Imagine that. No, but the scouts from Middlesbrough said they actually genuinely got past that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. But
and did nothing about
obviously
it?
Did nothing about it. Yeah. But again, when Kante even left Leicester, we bought Matic. I don't know if it was the same summer, but
I think it might have been
around the same period. Gave Chelsea the money to buy Kante. It's mental. We haven't never, from Essien days, when we were looking to replace Keane, Michael Essien.
Is it Upamecano? I think it might have been Upamecano. I might be wrong. The kid at Leipzig. He was at United. Was it 1920? And I think they went... We think Terrell Warren, Axel Tuan, Xabi Roshan are more likely to stick around because they're local than this kid, who's a little bit of a gamble.
That's kind of what we did with PK, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We thought Evans is going to stick around. Evans should still be here at the club. But talk about the midfield. Big opportunity because injuries will happen. I can see, if Matic plays a lot, he's going to be gone.
Dylan Levitt.
I was about to say,
how about that? Yeah.
James Garner.
James Garner. I thought Dylan should have gone on tour. After he went and he had a training camp with Wales with that Gareth Bale fella. That's not going China. He had. He went then to. I think they had some European qualifiers. He didn't get on. I think he was on the bench.
Giggs is taking in a lot, isn't it? I think they're trying to get him capped up as well, so that
probably worth
later on then England can't step in and say,
that might not be a bad shout. Yeah, but Dylan Levitt is as close as you're going to get to a Scholes, I think, in the modern era. Now, there's a lot that's got to happen for him to hit that level. The new Scholes, the Welsh Scholes,
with my face on the thumb.
But he's got a long way to hit that level of Scholes. But what I mean by the new Scholes is there's a bit of a bite to him. Like, he will fucking volley you if he has to. he's got an eye for a pass where you go, I can't even see that in the stands. How the fuck did you see that down there as a ball? And he's got the ability to put it there as well. I did have a little chat with him before he went on the tour with Wales, and I was like, mate, one ball over the top from you to Gareth Bale, and Giggs is going to be like, get him in the fucking 11. I haven't spoken to him since he come back. But I did assume he would have been one of the kids that we took on a tour. And I still
maybe that's why he didn't go.
Because he went with Wales.
Because you can imagine Solskjaer and Giggs having that conversation. What's better for him?
He was also one. Prior to them going on the tour, he was pictured in training with what's the first team group, with Angel, with Tuanzebe and all Ghana and all the ones who ended up going. So I think he's on the door. He's on the line. And I would like to see Dylan.
That's the thing.
Dylan and Ethan Laird are the ones.
We could have another Marcus Rashford this season that just comes, through and takes his chance and never looks back. But then it's like you could ruin a potential massive talent by just we have to go all.
But there's a lot into that are in and around the mix and out. Timbo can go either way from things I've heard.
Oh man, so many injuries, and I seen him outside Craven Cottage last season. He was at Fulham last season, wasn't he? And he was injured. It was after the United game. So we were setting up for fan cams. And we had Ollie then. That was when Martial scored that absolute worldie. And I seen him outside and he came up to us. And I was saying to him, like, imagine you were still you just held on at United now. You didn't go out on loan. Ollie comes in. You're given a chance. Like, you automatically right. Which game am I playing? Because Ollie was just giving out starts. And then you take one of them chances, you're in the squad this season. Yeah. You have a pre-season.
You go and someone picks up a knock.
And then things can just change for you like that. And it's...
Well, look at Marcus. He doesn't get the opportunity unless Tony does his Amiens.
And Will Keane.
Yeah.
And where's Will Keane?
Yeah. Will Keane's permanently injured.
Is he at Ipswich?
I don't even know. So Will Keane, permanently injured. Marshall goes down in the warm-up. But if
Mourinho's your manager, he puts Mata as a false nine. Whereas Van Gaal's like, fuck it.
I also know that Van Gaal had gone in and told him, said, there's only 15 first-team spots in my squad. The rest of them will be filled with academy players. That's mint.
That's why when people say, it's lucky what Van Gaal does, it's not lucky.
No, it wasn't.
It's by design that he has a small squad.
He debuted Rothwell and James Weir and Borthwick Jackson and Riley and Rashford.
He maybe throws enough shit so something will stick.
Bingo, but sometimes you've got to throw it. Yeah. You don't know what you've got until you try. And no one's took the chance like Marcus. You get a debut with 10 minutes notice. I spoke to him the day after and I was like, was you nervous? And he's like, nah. And I was like, I was chatting shit. But like, actually, the more you speak to him, I don't think he was nervous. I think he would just been like...
How can you have time to get nervous when it's like, shit, you're in his squad?
By the way, you're starting.
Okay. And it's like, it's Midgetland, so he's probably thinking, it's a good chance this, because probably as good as reserve defenders, really.
Gets 2 goals, follows that up with Arsenal the weekend after, never looks back. But if he doesn't take his chance against Midgetland, he probably doesn't get the start against Arsenal. He's probably at Ipswich now.
Or even worse,
Shrewsbury or something. Yeah, like
that's the fine margins.
That literally is where it can be. And I think Angel coming into this season is one that he could end up a career where he ends up an absolute sensational player, international, regular for United, ends up playing 400-500 games.
I got a bad feeling about Angel Gomez in the terms that I think we'll see the best of him at another club, and I don't know why I have that feeling. But I feel like he's going to be one of them kids that goes abroad and just blossoms.
Yeah, if he went to Germany or if he went to Spain or Portugal especially, I think he
Rashford
looks
or
ridiculous.
Martial played in France still, or played in Germany or something.
And this is what people forget when they're looking at, Mbappe scored X number of goals. Mbappe's playing against fucking weapons, mate.
Yeah.
He's not playing Premier League. Like, the Premier League isn't the highest quality, but it's hard. It's like the Championship. It's not the highest quality, but it's hard.
And you don't get as many chances. And when you play in the Premier League, you are under such intense scrutiny. Anything you could misplace one pass.
Did you see some shit that Mbappe did last year? He was dog shit in a couple of games.
Even against us?
Yeah.
He did some stupid stuff. And I mean, I'm not saying Mbappe's shit. That's not what I'm saying. He's obviously not better than Marcus
But United
Rashford.
player does it.
I mean,
United player does it and someone puts clown music
and it's even like Paul Scholes. But like, I remember I asked someone this question, Andy Tate, I think, when he was laying into Paul Pogba, and I said, if you take Pogba out of this team and put peak prime Paul Scholes in, is our team any different? And I don't think it is. Because the players that he's passing to aren't Giggs and Beckham. They're not Andy Cole and Dwight. He's passing to different players, and I think midfielders rely on so much about what's around them as well.
And that's why Mata, being as slow as he is, Solskjaer wants a fast, aggressive team. Juan Mata gets picked as a number 10, you're like, hey. But what's around him is fast and aggressive. And then you have someone with the composure and ability that Juan Mata has got to put those balls into them. And then you've got a system. Sometimes, like we said with Liverpool, not so much with City, but even the way Delph slotted in at left back for them, because the system framework is in place. I mean,
that's why I hate this talk about build around a player.
No, build around a system.
That's what you do.
You build around a system. Fergie built around a system, and he had exceptional players that fit a system. Now, sometimes he would change the system to get the best out of a certain player, but it was about the system. Now, the example I'll give you is, who's the best striker you've seen at United?
Van Nistelrooy.
Correct. Right, and that is the correct answer. In our lifetime, there has not been a more prolific striker.
Not a goal scorer striker,
Van Persie was sensationally good. Zlatan was very good. Rooney has been phenomenal for a long period of time. Cantona was the reason I fell in love with football. York and Cole were the fucking best partnership you've seen.
No, not one of them.
But the absolute, pure, selfish, fuck you, I'm scoring a goal every game is Ruud van Nistelrooy, right?
How angry was he when he didn't score? Even if he'd won 4-0, he'd walk off the pitch like...
Yeah, and go and volley somewhere.
Fucking hate life.
So...
we need a striker like that as well.
We probably do. But when Fergie was rejigging the team, and he looked at what he had blossoming with Cristiano Ronaldo...
Rooney, Saha.
And Rooney, and all of those, he went, I'm going to get the best out of the team by having a more workman-like forward line than Ruud, who doesn't move and he just wants to stand there and put it in the net. And that's what he changed to. A more fluid, flexible, workman-like forward line that will get the best out of this guy. It was still a system, and it was a system designed to get the best out of this guy and this guy. And then he went to the three-man midfield after it so famously not working. How does this not work? Varane, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes. Come on, that should have been the best midfield
I think sometimes you
ever.
can have too much sauce.
Yeah, it was, and it just didn't work.
It's too much.
But 7 years later... Paul Scholes, Hargreaves, Michael Carrick.
And how did that not line up for England, by the way? How did Michael Carrick not have more caps? Like, this is something I always get. These are two players I get angry about. I say I get angry. I don't care about England. Andy Cole, Michael Carrick. Just why?
Someone did I think one of the fanzines, I think it might be United We Stand, way back in the day, did a comparison between Andy Cole and Shearer, minus the penalties. Not a lot in it.
No, there isn't at all. And also, if you think about it, Andy Cole was never, like, remember we talked about Van Nistelrooy was built for him to score goals sometimes. That's how Newcastle were.
Absolutely. Newcastle for 100%.
Obviously, because Shearer was very good and you could do that, but Andy Cole was never that. He was part of a team.
Yeah.
Part with another striker that was getting as many goals.
If anything... He was a good complement to what else was going on. He was a good complement to Cantona. He was a good complement to York. He was never built around, let's get the best out of Andy Cole, the way Newcastle was when he was there. It was about, Cole works well with this.
He played with Les Ferdinand, didn't he?
Beardsley. Yeah, Les Ferdinand was an underrated player.
You know, when I asked him who his best partner was, he never said York, he said Beardsley.
That's interesting.
And Beardsley was at United as well. That's crazy, isn't it?
He was there for a day, I think.
Yeah,
he never played for us.
That's nuts.
That was like an Obi Mckola
actual
situation.
legend, kind of, footballing wise. It's like someone you look at like Gaza and think they would have done all right at United.
What? You know the reason Gaza didn't sign for United?
Because his Spurs bought his mum and dad a house.
A sunbed.
A sunbed.
I think it was a sunbed.
No, it was a house, wasn't it?
I think
house with a sunbed.
Maybe it was a house with a sunbed.
Yeah, I think it was the house thing, and I think he opted to just. It was like with Roy Keane in Blackburn. On the Friday, he had agreed to join Blackburn.
Shook hands on it.
Shook hands with
Dalglish. Still fuming about that.
And then obviously didn't sign for them because Fergie got in touch with him on the weekend.
I think he went round, did he?
And then
Fergie go round?
Kenny Dalglish phoned Roy Keane saying, "No one ever does this to Kenny Dalglish."
Kenny Dalglish sitting at the train station like that, saying, "I'm sure he said it was a takeoff." Fucking hell, is it?
Yeah,
not bad.
What? He looks like one of them knobs that says to Kenny Dalglish, like, "Who do you think you are?" Like, Kenny Dalglish. So Roy Keane, mate. Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about the system. You've got to build a system.
And I hate when people say we need to build a team around Pogba. No, we don't. And Pogba wouldn't say that either.
No, Pogba would say we
need to build a team that can play football.
Yeah. And I'll fit in it.
Yeah, and because he will fit in any team. It's just...
As long as the team has got a purpose and a goal and a style of play and a system.
I know we've done the predictions and none of us predicted United to win the league. Not that we want to spoil the video, it's on my channel. But if Pogba, if Rashford, if Martial, and if De Gea has a great season, and Lindelof, we can challenge for the league. It's just whether they do or not.
I don't think
and there's too many question marks in our whole team.
Yeah.
Like, centre-half, Lindelof. Yeah, he could be great. But he might not be.
But if you go direct to him, it fucking folds like a cheap snake.
And then you got midfield. Oh, Pogba's amazing, but
he's with McTominay, who's looking good for McTominay.
But
he's not Roy Keane.
Exactly.
And we should be aspiring.
Up front, Rashford, Martial, no one wants to play against them if they're on form.
If they're on form, yeah, and you go... They've both still got brilliant potential to grow into. I mean, like the numbers that Marcus has got.
They just need to have that 06-07 season. This is what I'm saying.
But then...
Beat Chelsea 5-1 opening day.
But then, you're still like, well, is Rashford... he's got better numbers than Ronaldo, Terry Henry. But is he going to be as good as those? We truthfully have no... I mean, you can sit there and go, no, absolutely not. All right, cool. Well,
most likely you'll be right.
I'll fucking fun of you at parties, right? But you don't... The truth is you do not know. Now, I see a young man that's got a fucking brilliant work ethic when it comes to both training and playing. And that's
the thing with me. I feel like he's got that...
He's got a Ronaldo mentality.
Rooney and Ronaldo. I feel like Martial is maybe more like Rooney. Not in the... Naturally, getting fat and...
Natural abilities.
But in terms of... I don't have to train as hard as the rest of them because I'm pretty sick, which he is. But you still need to train. And Rashford's probably more like... I want to get better and better. I want to get quicker. I want to jump higher. I want to just random shit that doesn't really we think don't matter.
Call him fucking boring. Like, he's a fucking old man. He's boring. Like, he's just, all he cares about is watching and playing.
Whereas Martial's just laying pipe everywhere.
Good.
Having new kids every weekend.
That's franchising, mate.
Limiting comments on his Instagram because birds are in there and all sorts. Like
you're my maintenance.
I think Martial, what you need to do is you got kids now. Just focus on your football, man. Just have one season, focus on football. See how good you can be.
See this with fighters, though, don't you? When you take the wild man side out of them, they're fucking boring. Wayne Rooney was his best when he was a fucking savage.
Wayne Rooney was... Oh, man. We're looking back at players now, just thinking, shit.
Miles away. Looking... But
even Berbatov, like, people used to rip Berbatov to Sheffield United.
Oh.
And I've seen him retweeting the fuck out of that goal, Blackburn goal, the other day, like, he could do it all. Oh, I had to defend him every weekend when he was a United player.
That little pirouette he did was 10 feet in front of me in K-stand.
The West Ham one?
Oh, my days.
Oh, mate.
I remember looking to the guy next to me and going, what has he just done?
Yeah. It was like, did the ball go out? Like, what the... Ronaldo
you watch it on replay and go, still know he did.
Yeah,
how the fuck did you do that?
That was surreal. I was at the other end, but high up so I could see it. And that was...
But the system, even at those times, Fergie... had United top of the league with Anderson and Cleverley centre mid partnership. The fuck?
I would have loved Rojo to play for a good United team. Just for the bastardry he could have done.
Oh, we said it. I think it might have made the cut on Defil's video. I don't know. We've not seen the edit of it yet. I mean, it probably won't. But Solskjaer's lads playing for Christiansen against United. I guarantee Rojo fucking mullers him. I guarantee it. And he'd be like, that's my son. He'd be like, I'll get him. Don't worry. And he's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, that's my fucking son.
He's probably going to say to
got you. I know what you're saying.
On the bus, like, what do you want to do to Ollie's son? Like, you're going to want to see this.
I'm going to make him cry.
You want to see me make Ollie? Everyone's like, we ain't seen him mad yet. What's going on?
Rojo's like, watch this.
Yeah. I hope you do. Rojo, if you're watching. Just send him. First. Even if he's on the bench, he's sitting on the bench and Rojo comes piling into the
just
bench.
for the clips, fuck it, do it. Right, I'm out of here. Go and check out his channel. We did a prediction video where we're definitely getting clips up for some of the things that we've said, especially from where I've said Arsenal are going to finish, but fuck them, fight me. Make sure to subscribe. Get your comments and questions and that in below, because I think me and him might be doing a pretty regular video. So if you've got any questions or anything along those lines, get them in the comments below and I'll see you in the next one.